This is Gerardo Del Real with the Outsider Club. We're here at the Beaver Creek Precious Metal Summit with the CEO and President of America Pacific Mining Corp., Mr. Warwick Smith and Mr. Eric Saderholm. Gentlemen, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Nice to see you, Jordan.
Doing well.
Thanks for your time this morning. I appreciate it. It's early. First things first, what do you think of the conference thus far?
Yeah, it's been tremendous. This is my first time coming to Beaver Creek. It's a beautiful setting, and the conference is great. It seems like all the right people are here, so we're happy to be here.
Excellent. Now, the company is developing the Tuscarora Project. It has the right address. It's in Nevada. Tell me a bit about the project.
Yeah, I'll pass off to Eric and let Eric speak through it. Eric's got a tremendous amount of experience in Nevada and has been involved in numerous discoveries there. So this is.
And you know your rocks, Eric.
Yes, I do. Tuscarora was discovered back in the late 1860s as a placer mine. A series of placer mines eventually evolved into a silver mine. Had 10,000 people living out there. Right now, it's a town of 30 people, so it's shrunk a little bit. The project's gone through several different iterations of exploration, but nothing really serious since 2016 until we got in here this year. We drilled 10,300 feet, so about 3,300 meters. I got some pretty interesting results, following up on Novo's and Newcrest's successes in the past 2 decades. We were planning a CSAMT study, which is a geophysical study that will hopefully put us in on some of those veins and kind of focus our drilling going forward. There are 12 vein sets that run under the pediment that are parallel to the vein that we tested, so there's a lot of things to go out there and test. Clearly. And the old timers, as they mined some of these veins up into the mountainside, they got down into the gravels and they lost the veins. So had they not lost the veins, we wouldn't have a project. But we think it's a substantial amount of gold out there. And then so our programs going forward will be to test these veins via drilling and CSAMT.
You mentioned the Novo connection to the project. Warwick, can you explain a little bit about the history of the project?
Yeah, absolutely. Quentin Henning, who runs Novo Resources, actually drilled this in the late 90s with Newcrest. And they had some cracker hits. He had 180 grams per ton gold over 1.5 meters. Yeah. Came back with and picked it up for Novo Resources. Drilled it with Novo, hit, again, 143 grams per ton over 1.5 meters, 75 grams per ton or thereabouts over 3 meters. Just phenomenal gold hits. What ends up happening, of course, actually in both cases for both Newcrest and Novo, is the companies end up going to Australia. Right. So most recently Novo, as they were finishing their drilling in 2016, things really took off for those guys, and you know, the stock went from 80 cents to, I think it went to $8 based on their Australian assets. So we were lucky enough to have a colleague put us in touch and said to Quentin, hey, you know, these guys are looking for a good project, and we think they'd be good guys to explore it. Quentin and Eric know each other. Quentin also is friendly with Ken Cunningham, one of our directors. So we were lucky enough to strike a deal on the project for, it was $375,000 over 3 years and 800,000 shares. So it was a steal in our books. We were thrilled to get it. And really, again, what grabbed us for the project is those high grades. It's got cracker grade to it, which can get the market excited. So now it's a matter of going more drilling, delineating a good size resource, and we're on our way.
Excellent. Eric, I mentioned off the top there that you know your rocks. Can you give us a bit about your background, explain to everybody kind of your history, because you're as good as they come.
I've been in the business since '82, so 36 years. I've worked on and off for Newmont. I worked for Newmont for 15 years. I've been a consultant to many mining companies in the past. I worked in Peru, I've worked in Mexico, I've worked in Chile. So I've international experience as well. But the majority of my history has been in Nevada and the western U.S. That's where I'm really familiar with the rocks, familiar with the mountain building episodes and what the deposits look like.
What's the main question that you have to answer about this deposit? You mentioned the veins. There's a lot of different structures there. Can you talk a little bit about that aspect of the project?
Yes, so these veins aren't particularly typical banded veins like you'll find in Republic and other places. They're high-level breccias, very high grade. They're cutting a package of volcanic rocks that are 39 million years old, which is roughly the same age as the Carlin Trend mineralization. So that makes it a unique system in that sense. Most of our epithermal vein systems in Nevada are much younger. This is a very altered field, so that was pleasing to see the alteration when we did the drilling. Means that lots of fluids have moved through the crust and really did this rock in. So it's an exciting place to be right now. I think we have a good one. We just hope that we can continue the success and find the other parallel veins as well.
Excellent. When do you plan on getting back out there? I know that you had some success drilling this year, and obviously you're planning the next steps. What does that look like?
Yeah, so I mean, we went public in March of this year, so we're fairly new, and we've drilled 10,000 feet. So we've done a good amount of work up until this point. CSAMT will be next. That will happen shortly. And then our intention over the next 12 months is to drill 20,000 feet this year. So that's going to give us a good amount of data. So we're very excited to get going on that.
Excellent. Share structure, what does that look like? You're a new company.
Yeah, a new company, 32 million shares out. We raised $3 million when we went public in March. We're sitting here now in September, and we've got about $1.5 million left. So still got a good amount of treasury left. And we've got a good tight share structure with 32 million shares out. Over 20% of the company is sitting on this couch today. So
absolutely. Tough market right now. What does the market cap look like?
Market cap's tiny. We've got about a $4 million market cap, so it is a very small cap. You know, obviously this has been a tough market for the juniors, but we think this is an exceptional asset and something that when this market does turn, we'll get a lot of love from the market, especially with those high grades. Now,
you use the tough market to pick up the project on pretty opportunistic terms. Are you looking at other projects? Are you speaking with different people about?
We've spoken with different groups. You know, we're pretty focused here today. If something made sense and it was the right thing, that we definitely consider it. We're sort of constantly in those conversations and getting an opportunity to see things and seeing how things could fit. So we'll see how that plays out over the next short term.
Excellent. Well, Eric, Warwick, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Jordan.
Thank you.
Thank you.